What if I told you? You're not forgetful, you're being hunted. It starts like a gift, a shiny button that says free. No catches, no pressure, no risk, just one click and you're in. But behind that smile is a countdown you can't see. Not days, not hours, moments until you're theirs. They don't want your attention, they want your silence. They want the day you forget, the moment you miss that hidden charge, while they drain you month after month after month. Billions, made from people who never noticed. A psychological weapon masked as convenience. Terms too long to read. Cancel buttons buried like secrets. They don't steal your money. You give it to them because you forgot. And here's the twist. They don't sell a product. They sell a delay. Because free was never the hook. Forgetfulness was. He failed louder than most succeed and still came out on top. The man who laughs while the ship burns. Who turns failure into legend and loss into leverage. He dressed like a rebel, talked like a dreamer, but made deals like a shark. Planes fell, trains derailed, records flopped, and yet he always walked away richer. When the world said, "You're finished," he booked a press conference and launched something new. When billionaires played it safe, he built his brand on chaos. He gave you rock music, soda, flights, phones, even space. He sold rebellion, packaged in red and wrapped in charm. They call him eccentric, but pirates always smile before they strike, because Richard Branson didn't just build an empire. He turned capitalism into a magic trick. Bankruptcy, crisis, to him they were just marketing tools. What if I told you the most powerful voice in the world doesn't belong to a politician, a billionaire, or a CEO? It started in a cage, sweat, blood, and survival. Then a microphone, and suddenly a fighter became something more. A man asking the questions no one else would. He didn't follow the rules. He spoke with doctors banned from TV, scientists who doubted the script, comedians who saw through the lies. They said he was dangerous, too many listeners, too many ideas, too hard to control. They tried to silence him, but every attack made him louder, because he wasn't pushing a message. He was making people think, and in a world full of noise, one clear voice can change everything. His name? Joe Rogan, the man who turned a podcast into a revolution. What if I told you the most powerful man in fashion never designed a single dress? He doesn't walk the runways, he buys them. While others chase fame, he collects names. Not brands, not businesses, trophies. He moves in silence, but his touch reshapes entire industries. When he whispers, economies shift. When he points, legacies vanish. No scandals, no outbursts, just acquisitions, one by one, like a chess master tightening the net. He built an empire not on fabric, but on desire. Desire you wear, desire you sip, desire you can't afford but still crave. He turned luxury into a religion and made himself its silent god. They call him the collector of dreams. But what if he's been collecting souls all along? Because while we scroll through filtered lives and limited drops, he's watching us buy back the illusions he owns. And he didn't just dominate fashion, he rewrote what it means to want. What if I told you the most dangerous secret in America wasn't a weapon, but a memory? He didn't have medals, he didn't want fame, just an engineer with shaking hands and eyes that had seen the impossible. He spoke of craft that bent gravity, reactors that defied physics, in a place buried in the Nevada desert where the laws of nature were just suggestions. Then his past vanished. No diplomas, no employment history, no trace. They called him a liar, a lunatic, a glitch in the machine. But piece by piece, the puzzle started to bleed through the cracks. Security badges, flight logs, new whistleblowers, and a propulsion system. No one on Earth could explain, because maybe the story wasn't his to tell, and maybe that's why they tried to erase it. His name? Bob Lazar, the man who says he reverse-engineered alien technology, and they've been trying to bury the future ever since. The incredible reason why no one saw him coming, he started with nothing except a mind wired for war and a hunger that never slept. While others chased fame, he chased silence and built an empire inside it. They called him a rapper, but every verse was a cipher, every line strategy. While the world danced, he was decoding power. He sold crack to escape, then sold records to ascend, then bought the very buildings that once locked him out. No inheritance inheritance, no invitation, just a street-born strategist who turned scars into scripture. He didn't just wear the crown, he acquired the kingdom. Jay-Z from Marcy Projects to the boardrooms of billionaires. Not because they let him in, but because he hacked the gates. What if I told you she's no longer an artist, but an entity? She doesn't do interviews, she delivers prophecies on stage. Her image curated like ancient scripture. Every pose a symbol, every silence louder than screams. She stopped being seen in crowds. She started appearing as if summoned. Even her walk feels rehearsed by gods. Eyes don't just watch her, they worship her. She sings, but it's not music anymore. It's ritual, it's alchemy, it's code. The lights dim, the drums start, and suddenly you're not at a concert. You're inside a mass led by someone who forgot how to be human. A woman turned myth, a voice turned relic, a body turned brand. And the terrifying part, you didn't notice when the idol became the deity. Beyonce, the idol who stopped being human, not just a star, a system. They never expected you to notice this. Every time she disappears, the world changes. And when she returns, she owns it. Albums dropped like coded messages. But this isn't just music, it's something else. She lost her masters, then made history by remaking them. Each version more powerful than the last. Breakups turned to billion-dollar branding. Every move measured, every tear monetized, and every era a reinvention so precise you'd think it was scripted by something smarter. But here's the strange part. The symbols, the numbers, the timing. It's not random, it's rhythmic, predicted, almost programmed. So the question isn't how is she so successful? It's what is she really running? A record label, a fan base, or an evolving simulation that writes and rewrites reality itself? Her name? Taylor Swift. What if I told you the collapse already started? Not with an explosion, not with a scream, but with applause, with streaming shows, celebrity trials, and trillion-dollar distractions. Empires don't fall in silence. They crumble under laughter, debt, and denial. One by one, the signs return. Bread for the poor, circuses for the bored, and wars, never ending, always justified. The Senate bought, the people divided, the currency inflated until worthless, just like ancient denarii. You think it's new? Rome lived this script. It bathed in luxury as its borders burned, mocked its prophets, praised its tyrants, and when the dust finally cleared, the world was never the same. So, is this just history or a prophecy repeating? Because America isn't just echoing Rome, it's sprinting toward its fate, and no one is hitting the brakes. What if I told you the devil once played God and people prayed to him? He moved through Colombia like a myth, a shadow with a golden smile. He gave away fortunes, but buried enemies in mass graves. He built playgrounds where children laughed, then placed bombs beneath government cars. To the poor, he was salvation. To the state, he was chaos in human form. One day, he'd fund a church. The next, he'd blow one up. And yet, they worshipped him, not out of fear, out of gratitude. He paid for weddings, bought medicine. Journalists tried to expose him. But the truth was more confusing than the lies. How can a man be a monster and still be mourned like a martyr? They say he was a villain, but in Medellin, they still whisper his name like a prayer. Because Pablo Escobar didn't fight the system. He bought it, brick by brick, soul by soul.